Fox News alert on a developing story we've been following throughout this show regarding a missing baby in Kansas City, Missouri. We are told police are now meeting with the parents of 10-month-old Lisa Irwin, and within the next half hour, these parents are expected to hold a news conference. On the phone with me now is Bill Grady, a reporter for radio station KMBZ in Kansas City. Bill, thanks for being here. Do we have any update on what's happening with the investigation or what we can expect from the parents momentarily?
Well, Megan, what we have heard is that the father, Jeremy Irwin, is actually going to be reading the statement prepared by the family. We don't know whether his wife, Deborah Bradley, is going to be making any comments, but he is going to be reading a statement. We're not sure whether he's going to take questions or not. At the house this morning, I might just mention that we saw an FBI crew of crime scene technicians going in and out of the house dressed in the safety suits that I'm sure you've seen. And at one point, they were using what appeared to be some sort of a vacuum device going around the window that may have been the approach used by this abductor in taking this little girl, and they were gathering evidence there and taking it back to the mobile crime lab. And so that's where we are right now. The search has centered pretty much around the house and also just a little bit to the southwest of it, where it's very much like the Ozarks, very dense and hilly and brushy. But police have had readily admitted that they're really stumped on this one. They just don't have a lot to go on.
Bill, how old were the other two children who were in the house? There are two boys in the house as well.
My understanding is that they are ages 7 and 10. They were here yesterday, and the family talked with police last night, the mom and dad, until about 10:30. And so we were also told that there would be people talking to the young boys, folks that are trained in dealing with this kind of investigation involving youngsters.
Do we know whether the parents or the boys are attesting to hearing anything? I know the father was out of the house. He says that the baby was discovered missing when he came home from his overnight job at 4 a.m. But does the mother, do the boys, do we know whether they have told the police that they heard anything suspicious, etc.?
The police haven't shared that with us in terms of what they have told, the parents have told the investigators as part of the ongoing process. They do tell us that they have had some tips that have come in. We have a tips hotline here in Kansas City, and so they have had some tips come in. Unfortunately, those just haven't panned out. One yesterday, it was a lady here in the neighborhood, claimed that she saw a man walking down the street with a baby clad only in a diaper very late at night, and we were told by police that too, there was a spark of interest, but it didn't turn out to be anything.
Yeah. Bill, we had an investigator on the case on the program earlier. I asked him whether there was any history of domestic violence within this family. He didn't say. Do we know anything about that?
And that's something they would not discuss with us either. Megan, they've been extremely guarded about this, and a lot of these folks that are out here working on this case, these police officers, have a real passion for it because many of them have young children, and so it's been a pretty exhaustive search. One thing I would mention is that yesterday there were about 100 searchers out, including folks who were handling dogs, and there were mounted patrol officers. Today that was scaled back to about 30 to 50. And they're just kind of going over the areas that they went over yesterday and going back to houses where folks weren't at home, knocking on a lot of doors again.
Did anybody offer an explanation for that decrease?
Well, other than the fact that they are not expanding the search areas is what we were told. That they've already gone through it once. They feel like they went through it very thoroughly. A lot of what they're doing today is just going door to door and contacting the folks in those houses that didn't happen to be home yesterday.
If someone's got that baby, just say a prayer. Let's hope she's okay. Bill, thank you.
My pleasure, Megan.